Have you ever stopped to think about the power that the next 10 minutes can have in your life? Sometimes they are quick moments, simple decisions, and small attitudes that, added over time, have the power to completely transform our destiny. What if I told you that the ideas you will hear below have the potential to do exactly that? In our agitated world, it is easy to fall into routine and get lost in the turmoil of distractions. But what if, instead, you could focus on what really matters and in just 10 minutes, change the course of your story? This is a proposal of this content. In a short time, you will understand the concepts and attitudes that make all the difference in the journey of success. If you are ready to break the distraction cycle and adopt a new mindset, then keep reading, because the next few minutes can be the most transformative of your life. And before you follow, you already subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications, because we will not stop here. Each video will bring you even closer to your best version. Let's go together on this transformation journey. The rich mindset goes beyond money. It refers to a way of thinking, acting, and seeing the world. It is that mindset that always seeks more, who sees opportunities where others see difficulties, and believes that growth is a constant process. When you adopt a rich mindset, it begins to see success not as something distant, but as something accessible and conquering. The first step is to believe that what you think is power. And that is why cultivating this mindset is critical to achieving the most ambitious goals. Having a rich mentality means being willing to learn, adapt, and evolving to each challenge. Have you ever noticed how successful people seem to be always ahead, even in the face of difficulties? This is because they have a positive mindset that keeps them focused on solutions, not problems. The positive attitude is one of the foundations for success, and that is what drives us to persist, even when things seem not to work. Remember, success does not come from momentary luck, but from the constancy and the way you deal with obstacles. If you look at people like Oprah Winfrey, you'll find it built your trajectory from a rich mindset, from his difficult childhood to becoming one of the most influential personalities in the world. Oprah maintained the belief that he could transform his reality. She did not let adversities define her destination. On the contrary, he used these experiences as a fuel for his journey of overcoming. This is what a rich mindset does. It transforms difficulties in learning, creating a solid foundation for long-term success. And this concept also applies to names like Elon Musk. Musk never let the failure in his early companies keep him from moving on. On the contrary, he knew that difficulties were part of the process of growth and innovation. Musk's rich mindset, which combines resilience with future vision, led him to create revolutionary companies such as SpaceX and Tesla. It is not just about money. It is about having a clear view of where you want to go and the determination of not giving up, even when the path seems impossible. The positive mindset is like the fuel for the journey of success. Without it, even the best plans can be on the way to frustration and inertia. People who have a positive attitude face challenges, such as growth opportunities, not as insurmountable obstacles. This does not mean ignoring the difficulties, but to adopt the stance that, regardless of the situation, there is always something valuable to be learned. The power of a positive mindset is how it alters our perspective and, consequently, our results. When you cultivate a positive mindset, motivation becomes natural and goals get clearer and more affordable. Think about the situations where you have already overcome some challenge. It was a positive attitude that kept you focused, right? You didn't give up because you believe that with effort it will be possible to find a solution. The true key to success is to maintain this vision, even when the journey is difficult. This mindset creates a resilience that allows you to quickly recover from stumbling blocks, continuing to walk towards a goal. A clear example of how positive mindset can transform a person's life is Oprah Winfrey's trajectory. She faced a childhood full of difficulties and adversities, but her positive attitude helped her to see beyond pain and suffering. She always believed it could be greater than her circumstances, which led her to gain a global position of influence. Your life shows that success is not only in external circumstances, but in the way we react to the situations that life presents us. In addition, we see the importance of a positive mindset in Elon Musk's life. When he founded Tesla and SpaceX, many doubted his success, and he went through numerous challenges. However, Musk maintained his positive and persistent attitude, which was fundamental for him to overcome these obstacles. He knew that the key to success was the unshakable confidence that with hard work and vision, the goals were achievable, even if the world seemed to doubt it. Establishing clear goals is the first step in turning dreams into reality. Without a definite goal, it is like trying to navigate a boat aimlessly. The rich mindset is closely linked to the clarity of purpose. When you have a well-defined view of what you want to achieve, every action you take becomes a step towards accomplishment of this goal. Best of all, clear goals help maintain focus, discipline, and motivation, even when distractions try to dodge you from the way. In addition to being clear, goals need to be challenging. It is no use defining goals that are too easy to achieve, because personal and professional growth comes when we challenge ourselves to go beyond what we imagine being possible. That was exactly what Elon Musk did with SpaceX and Tesla. Instead of content with the status quo, Musk set goals so ambitious that many thought they were unreal. And yet his tireless determination and focus led him to turn these goals into great achievements. This was only possible because he always knew exactly where he wanted to go and worked without rest to reach each milestone. When we talk about goals, we are also talking about action. It is not enough to dream of success. You need to take concrete attitudes every day. Warren Buffett, for example, was famous for his discipline and long-term vision. Throughout his career, he has always invested in valuable assets and followed his strategy of growing from consistent investments. His secret did not go seek quick gain, but to make calculated choices, always with his clear goals in mind. Patience and perseverance in investments, as in business, are essential to achieving success in a solid way. Finally, it is important to remember that success does not happen overnight. The trajectory is long and requires hard work, but it is also a constant learning journey. Richard Branson, founder of Virgin Group, is another example of how failures can be turned into steps to success. He faced numerous difficulties, but his persistence and his ability to learn from errors always boosted him forward. The secret is to set clear goals and work without stopping to achieve them, never letting failures define who you are, but learning from them. Failures are part of any successful journey, and it is just as we deal with them that defines if we're going to advance or give up. The growth mindset is essential in this process. Instead of seeing failure as an end, those who have a rich mindset understand that it is just feedback, a disguised lesson. Each error is an opportunity to learn something new, improve strategies, and become more resilient. Therefore, if you want to achieve major goals, you need to embrace failure as part of the growth process. Richard Branson, for example, had several failures before becoming one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world. His first company, which failed, did not prevent him from continuing. He used the experience to understand what did not work and was able to set up Virgin Group, which achieved a monumental success. This is what often lacks in people who give up too early the willingness to learn from errors and move on. Failure is not the opposite of success. He is often the best teacher you can have. Another example is Elon Musk himself, who faced great difficulties with his early companies. SpaceX almost went bankrupt several times, and he had a lot of doubt. However, Musk knew how to transform these moments of failure into valuable learning. And this ability to reinvent himself and persist led him to achieve the success we see today. The determination to continue, even when the odds were against him, that made the difference. This is precisely what separates those who reach great things from those who stay along the way. Failure also has the power to teach us about perseverance. Warren Buffett has always said that if you learn to deal with difficulties, you will have a much more solid way ahead. Therefore, when we talk about the power of failures, it is important not only to accept them, but to use them as learning. They are opportunities to reinforce, become stronger, and adjust the course. So don't be afraid to make a mistake. Missing is part of the process. The important thing is not to let failure define you, but that it is just a step on your journey to success. In the world of business and personal development, The right connections may be the key to accelerating your progress. The rich mindset is not only to self-taught or act in isolation, but also to perceive the power of the connections. Setting for people with a similar mindset can open doors and create opportunities that you alone may not find. The power of networks is to share knowledge, experiences, and often get that little push needed to take the next step in your trajectory. Bill Gates and Paul Allen are a classic example of how a support network can make all the difference. Their partnership resulted in the founding of Microsoft, one of the most successful companies in history. This collaboration did not arise out of nowhere. It was the fruit of a connection built over time, with a common goal in mind. If Bill Gates had tried to do everything alone, maybe Microsoft's story was quite different. Connections and collaboration were fundamental to success. In an increasingly interconnected world, opportunities to create networks are immense. You can connect with people from around the world and learn from them in previously unimaginable ways. But of course, it is not just about adding contacts, but of cultivating genuine and mutually beneficial relationships. When you have a strong network, it is not only more likely to learn from the best, but also to be supported at challenging times. The secret is to build a solid network where the exchange of knowledge and experiences happen constantly. When we look at big names like Jeff Bezos, we see how much connections also help shape the success of their trajectory. Bezos knew I couldn't do everything alone. Therefore, he surrounded himself with competent people and, over the years, has built a culture of collaboration in Amazon. The constant exchange of ideas and experiences made the company not only survive, but become one of the most innovative on the planet. The connections are not just valuable, they are essential to long-term success. Continuous learning is the foundation of lasting success. In a world that is always changing, those who stop learning is letting the future escape by hands. The rich mindset involves a constant search for new knowledge, skills, and perspectives. No matter how successful you are already, there is always something new to learn. This day one mindset, defended by Jeff Bezos, is a clear example of how continuous learning is critical. For Bezos, Amazon should never stop learning and innovate, and this philosophy was responsible for taking the company to the top. Jeff Bezos has shown that learning should never be seen as optional, but as a constant need. In its early years, Amazon was just an online bookstore, but Bezos had a long-term vision. He knew that to stay competitive, he needed to learn and adapt all the time. The day one mindset does not only refer to the beginning of a project, but to a continuous commitment to innovation and improvement. And it is this commitment that maintains companies and relevant people in a market that never stops evolving. Another example of how continuous learning is a differential is Mark Zuckerberg. Since the beginning of Facebook, he has always sought to learn and improve, not only in technical terms, but also on how to positively impact the world. Your approach to learning from errors and constantly adjusting strategies was essential for company growth. Zuckerberg invested time and energy to understand market needs, adjust its business model, and ensure the platform remained innovative and relevant. This focus on constant learning has helped Facebook keep in the lead of its industry for years. Continuous learning also applies to our personal life. The growth mindset is not only limited to professionals and companies, but also reflects on our daily actions. If you want to evolve, you need to learn new skills, explore new ideas, and be willing to leave the comfort zone. Each book read, every significant conversation, every new project is an opportunity for growth. Therefore, always invest in your learning, because this will be the fuel that will boost your long-term success. Wealth can be a powerful tool for causing positive changes in the world, and many successful people have shown it over the years. However, the rich mindset goes beyond the simple accumulation of money. True wealth is how you use resources to positively impact other people's lives. Mark Zuckerberg, for example, has been dedicated to the use of his fortune to support social causes and promote equality of opportunities through Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. He believes true wealth is not how much you have, but how much you can help transform the world. When we think of philanthropy, many of us imagine large donations, such as those made by billionaires. But the truth is that any positive contribution can make a difference. The mindset of those who succeed is to understand that as you grow, your social responsibility should also grow. It is the concept that everyone has a role in creating a better world. Like Zuckerberg and other philanthropists, the use of wealth to generate positive social changes not only improves other people's living conditions, but also creates a lasting legacy. Philanthropy is not just about the money you donate, it's about the impact you generate. The mentality of success and true wealth is to use your resources, time, and connections to help solve global or local problems. When you are dedicated to social causes, you're not just creating an external impact, but you are also cultivating a sense of purpose and gratitude in your life. By creating a legacy of kindness and contribution, you demonstrate that success is a reflection of your ability to positively impact the lives of others. Finally, wealth and philanthropy are intertwined so that those who are successful understand that their success has the potential to change lives. When big names like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, or Mark Zuckerberg donate large amounts, they're just materializing a generous mindset that seeks global transformation. By applying this concept to your life, you can start thinking not only on how to accumulate, but also on how to distribute it. This creates a virtuous cycle of prosperity and transformation that makes the world better for everyone. Cultivating solid principles is essential for anyone who wants to achieve lasting success. These principles form the basis of their rich mentality and guide their actions, even when the path is not easy. Having a set of values that guide your decisions, whether related to honesty, persistence, or empathy, creates a strong foundation on which you can build your dreams. Positive mindset and adherence to these principles allow you to stay firm, even in the face of the adversities that will inevitably arise. These principles are not just theories or philosophies, they are reflected in everyday actions. When you define what is most important to you and act according to these values, you create a successful and authentic trajectory. The positive mindset is one of these tools that help keep these principles alive, allowing you to recover from challenges without losing focus. This means that instead of being consumed by difficulties, you use them as learning, always maintaining a clear view of your goals. Oprah Winfrey, again, is a perfect example of how to cultivate strong principles can generate extraordinary results. Throughout his career, Oprah remained true to the values of compassion, authenticity, and resilience. Even when she was challenged by a difficult childhood and obstacles on the way, she never deviated from these principles. Her positive mindset and commitment to her values were fundamental for her to become the influential leader she is today. It is a clear reminder that true wealth is not only what you achieve, but also who you become in the process. Finally, what really differentiates successful people is the ability to cultivate these internal qualities and use them as the basis for their decisions. In a world where the temptation to follow shortcuts or concessions is great, keeping your principles intact can be the differential between true and ephemeral success. How can you cultivate these principles? Start by reflecting on what really matters to you and how it translates into your daily actions. And remember, the positive mindset will help maintain focus and perseverance so that you never give up on your values, regardless of challenges. Now that you have known the ideas and attitudes that can transform your life, the question is, what are you going to do with them? Remember, success does not happen overnight, but it is built with each small daily action, the right mindset, and of course, the persistence to move on, even in the face of difficulties. So what are you waiting for? Are you ready to apply these concepts and change the trajectory of your life? Don't let the routine take you away from your dreams. Make this journey a daily commitment to your growth. Think big, keep a positive attitude, work hard, and most importantly, be consistent. Success is not a destination, but a journey, and you are just starting. Subscribe to the channel, enable notifications, and come and follow more content like this. Let's build a successful future together.